Hello Satya, I'm happy to meet you again through Satya Sparkles channel. Before we start today's discussion, let me remind our subscribers and friends about the topics we have already covered over the past few months, like Buddha, fear, the soul, actor observer bias, digital detox, and stress. Alright, sir, today we are going to talk about an interesting but often misunderstood topic, ego. So, here's my basic question. What exactly is ego and how do we understand it?
You are absolutely right. If we properly understand what ego is, the way we behave and act will definitely help our life. In fact, it is essential. The word ego is said to have come from Latin. Later, the psychologist Sigmund Freud spoke about the balance between id, ego, and superego, all that. And that's a big topic. And if we dive into that, it'll take a lot of time. To put it simply, ego means I.
Okay, Satya. So, ego means I. But then, why do people say we must give up ego? I don't understand that.
Good question. In spirituality and Vedic scriptures, ego is defined as the concept of as I told you. For example, I told you something, now I am worried, I got a job. Whenever we say like this, I, that is an expression of ego. But as you ask, when people say we must give up ego, doesn't that sound like a contradiction? And that's a fair question. Let's look at a historical story to understand this better. When Julius Caesar was a young boy, he was kidnapped by a group who demanded a ransom of 11,000 gold coins from the government. But Caesar, wanting to protect his royal dignity and honor, told the kidnappers to raise the ransom to 250,000 gold coins. That is one side of it. We all know that July month, which has 31 days, was named after Julius. Later, Augustus, who came after him, insisted that his month, that is August, should also have 31 days, not fewer. That is why July and August both have 31 days. Now, whether these stories are fully true or not, what matters is the lesson we learn from them. So, when we look at their actions, how do we judge their ego? Or were they right or wrong? What do you think?
I think they acted out of arrogance just to maintain their status.
Correct. So, beyond the simple I, they acted with pride, arrogance, and conceit. That means they went beyond ego and became egoistic, right? So, coming back to your early question, when people say we must let go of ego, what they mean is if someone acts with the mindset of I am the greatest, I know everything, that is not just ego, that is being egoistic.
Can you explain a bit about the difference between ego and egotism with some practical life examples?
Sure. Think of self belief. So that is how we view and understand ourselves, isn't it? If our self understanding is realistic and strong, we have a healthy ego. For example, if you believe you are a skilled doctor or an expert in your own field, that sense of ego helps you succeed in your life. But if you start believing you are the best and no one can surpass you, then it turns into arrogance, egotism. Here is a funny story. A famous wrestler once refused to wear his seatbelt on a flight, saying, I am a Superman. I don't need a seatbelt. The air hostess politely replied, if Superman doesn't need a seatbelt, he doesn't even need an aeroplane either. He can just fly. See, ego can't be entirely given up. It's like our shadow. We can't live without it, but what we must give up is not ego, but egotism.
That's clear, Satya. But why do some people act egoistic? Is there any psychological reason?
There can be many reasons. It depends on upbringing, personality, beliefs, lifestyle, and so on. Some people have what is called spotlight syndrome. For example, at a wedding, an egoistic person might secretly wish they were the bride or bridegroom, just so all eyes would be on them. They crave constant attention and recognition. To get it, they will cross all limits. As the former US General Colin Powell once said, in the military, when you become a four-star general, people will do whatever you say. If you point to a slightly dirty wall, it will be painted before sunset. So, some people, once they reach a high position, they start changing, or rather, people around them start changing their behavior, which indirectly inflates their ego. Others, after gaining fame in the field, think no one can surpass them. That is professional arrogance. That is where a healthy ego turns into elevated ego.
So far, we have understood the difference between ego and egotism. Ego is natural and always with us, like a shadow. But egotism is a toxic force we create and nurture ourselves, knowingly or unknowingly, right? From what we have discussed, I can already sense the kind of problems it can cause. But can you explain in detail what exactly we lose because of egotism?
Of course, the first impact is on relationships at home, among friends, at work, or in business partnerships. If we always think, I am right, our understanding of others drops, isn't it? Even if we know we are wrong, we refuse to apologize. That breaks many good bonds. Second, it affects career opportunities. If we only talk about our own achievements all the time, teamwork becomes impossible. That leads to conflicts and misunderstanding that harm both us and the company. Third, learning stops. With ego, we think we already know everything, so we lose the opportunity or the curiosity to learn new things. And that halts growth. Fourth, health problems. Poor relationships and lack of harmony lead to stress, anger, blood pressure, and sleep disorders. And fifth, social isolation. People will avoid you, thinking no point in talking to that person. Six, poor decision making capacity. If we don't value others' ideas, we may take wrong decisions that affect maybe our career, investments, or in life choices itself. Last but not the least, loss of love and empathy. Egoistic people cannot feel others' emotions, and that kills their basic humanity.
That makes sense. Now tell me, Satya, what practical steps can we take to avoid getting trapped in egotism?
Plenty of ways. Here is a story. A crow once grabbed a piece of meat and was flying away. Other birds chased it, pecking and hurting it, trying to snatch the meat. The crow once realized, I am suffering only because I am holding onto this meat. So it dropped the meat. Immediately, the other birds went after that meat, leaving the crow free to fly peacefully in the sky. The lesson: if we let go of egotism, we can live freely and peacefully. So, how do we avoid falling into this trap? Let's see.
Wow, such a deep message from a simple story. Please continue, Satya.
First, build awareness of elevated ego. Notice how it arises and grows within you. Next, have a purpose. To find it, start with your passion. Passion gives direction. But remember, have passion, not be passionate. Have emotions, not be emotional. So, balance is the key. Then follow the middle path as Buddha taught. Don't swing to extremes. Keep learning continuously. Stay a lifelong student. One of my favorite quotes is: live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. And then practice humility. But here is the catch. The moment you think you are humble, you have already lost it. As Colin Powell said, don't let your ego get close to your position because when your position goes, your ego will also go with it. Be careful when people flatter you excessively. Ask yourself, am I surrounded by yes men? Then don't get stuck in past glories. While achievements boost confidence, if you keep reliving them, they inflate arrogance. Keep moving forward and adapt to new realities. Practice gratitude. Recognize that your success comes also from others' help or a higher power. Appreciate people openly. Then accept failures and learn from those failures. Engage in meditation and spirituality, not necessarily in religiosity. And finally, cultivate a service mindset. Thinking of helping others keeps ego in check.
That was so clear. If we practice this regularly, we'll never get trapped in unhealthy ego. Do you have a final message for our listeners?
Yes, we can shift from I to we. That's enough. Remember, ego can either be an asset or a liability. It's completely in our control.
I have discovered how much depth is there in the one word ego. I'm sure this conversation will be very useful to everyone listening to this audio. Hopefully, we'll meet again in another session with a new exciting topic. Thank you so much, Satya.
One request to the listeners. My Satya Sparkle channel already has over 195 recordings as on date on various topics. Please check them out, listen, and share your thoughts. We'll meet again soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye.